Michael. Can't really trust nobody with all this jewelry on you. My roof look like a no-show. Got diamonds by the bolo. Come with the Tony Homo for clowns and all the balls. Roll AP going psycho. Lil' mama bad like Michael. Can't really trust nobody.
Where to start? Last time I posted anything was the All of Me by John Legend cover. Yeah, that one. Since then, a lot has happened. Number one, not that falling over. I'm using a selfie stick as my tripod today because I got a selfie stick recently. Can I? Hold on. I need to see something. And then let's put this here. Ooh, yes, there we go. That's better. Might be a little tilted, but that's okay. I believe that next day, so the next day, I believe after I posted that video, I went to the hospital. Apparently that morning, I had a seizure, and, it was really bad. And, my mom said that I stopped breathing for, like, a minute. Clickbait. I almost died. I'm gonna use that as a title now. Well, it's actually not clickbait, but yeah. But, so my mom was, like, trying to, like, you know, do everything she can to wake me up, and then my sister was calling 911. My sister called 911, and the paramedics and the police, they came, and the earliest thing I remember from that morning is a paramedic, like, saying to me, okay, we need to take you to the hospital, or something to that effect. And I'm like, okay. My mom said that they asked me, like, oh, what year is it? And I took, like, oh, what, yeah, like, what year is it? Like, oh, what time of the day do you think it is? Like, who's the president? Stuff like that. And my mom said it took me a minute to, like, answer the questions. I don't remember any of that. Like, it took me a minute to figure out the year. It took me a minute to figure out who the president was. I don't know why. But I'm okay now. I still have a few things going on that I personally don't want to tell you guys due to, like, my personal privacy and everything. Yeah, so it's been 2 weeks since the seizure. They said that, my doctor did say that they've seen kids that have had seizures before and they never get them again. Or they have another seizure, but it won't be until, like, later on in their life. So I'm just kind of, like, relieved about that. So, let me lift this up a little more. So, yeah, that's how that went. I'm still doing a bunch more tests. Next Friday, I have a MRI. Yeah, MRI. I'm not excited for that. I already had a CAT scan done. Now I'm getting an MRI done. I had a sleep study done. The sleep study is the thing that showed the most. Ooh, that almost broke. Yeah, the sleep study was the thing that showed the most, but then again, you never know. They said sleep studies aren't always accurate. So, yeah. And then, this past Wednesday, as some of you guys know, or a lot of you guys know, that the day after I graduated, my great-grandmother died, just due to old age, hence the name great-grandmother. But yeah, she passed. And then this past Wednesday, my aunt, my dad's older sister, she passed away too. And we were all kind of expecting it. Not really. It was A, due to her health, the way her health was going. B, like she had multiple health problems in the past and then also in like the future. And C, she just wasn't doing well this year. Like last summer actually, she ended up going to the hospital due to a kidney problem. And before that, she's had multiple other things, like she's had surgeries, she's had all this other stuff. I'm not going to say the way she died, due to also, again, personal privacy. But her birthday is actually I believe the 23rd. Is the 23rd of this month, I believe, because I know it's a couple days after my sister's birthday. The thing is too, it's really kind of traumatic for me because I was there to witness her death type thing. So let me explain how kind of the day went. My grandma and my aunt, we all went to Half Moon Bay, and we were just chilling. We went and got this fish and chips from this fish and chips place, and then there's an ice cream shop right next door. They have amazing Mexican chocolate ice cream. Me and my grandma got Mexican chocolate ice cream. My aunt got coconut. And my aunt paid for both the fish and chips and the ice cream. And then we were driving around, and my grandma wanted to take me back school shopping. That was the plan afterwards. We were going to drop her off and we were going to go back school shopping. So, my aunt has a little bit of trouble getting out of the car because she was a bit bigger. But yeah, I helped her get out of the car. My grandma helped her up the stairs. There's 2 little steps, and then there's like the one to actually get in the house. But then what had happened is like she has a walker, or she has something to help her, not like a cane or anything, but it's like a walker where it's like this and it's got wheels. Yeah. And we call it a walker. I don't know if anyone else calls it anything else. But she was holding on to it, but the thing is, it has wheels. So she was like leaning on it, and it ended up sliding, and then she fell on her stomach, and like before any of that, she was saying like sorry, like I'm sorry to my grandmother, which is her mom. And then like she like reached out behind her back to like, oh, like pull me up a little bit or something, just try, and like we couldn't because she's heavy. And then that was like the last we ever like saw her do. And then from then on, we heard like this, like, oh, like she was making noises she was like flat on her stomach, like on her face, and we heard her making noises, and we're like, yo, what's up? And we thought she was being over dramatic because she's over dramatic about a lot of things. And so basically we're just like, okay, maybe she's being dramatic. And maybe she fell asleep or something. So I called my dad, and he took him a little bit. And then the thing was, is when he was on the way here, like my grandma was trying to get her to say something, and she wasn't saying anything. And she was unresponsive. Maybe we thought she went unconscious after she fell or put her arm down from trying to reach behind. That's what we thought. And my dad, when he got there, I checked for a pulse and I didn't feel anything. It's probably because I didn't know if I was feeling in the right area. I know where to feel, though. I couldn't tell if I was feeling in her right area. You feel, to check a pulse, right here, the vein that's right here, you'll see this blue line in your arm. To feel the vein, That's how you feel it. Like, you use 2 fingers. Yeah, I could feel a pulse. And then another area for the pulse is your neck. And then if you're really still, or like you're running or something, like if I move around, yeah, sometimes you can feel the heart where your heart is at, and then you can feel it through the veins, neck, kind of like arm, like forearm, wrists, neck, and then sometimes right here. Yeah, I still have a bruise from when I went to the hospital, by the way. I had IV in me all day, so. Yeah, so I checked for a pulse. I didn't know if I was feeling the right area, so I couldn't tell. And then, like, before my dad got there, I couldn't tell if she was breathing or not. And because I didn't see, because it's kind of hard to tell with bigger people if they're breathing or not, especially when it came with her, because she had some sort of like breathing problem since birth. Basically, like, we thought, okay, maybe something happened, and then my dad got there. He felt for a pulse because he kind of knows where to feel for a pulse, kind of. And he said he couldn't feel anything, so I had 911 dialed and ready just in case. And so I dialed 911. My dad was on the phone with them. He used my phone, and then they got there. Dad gave me my phone back. The firefighters came first, then the paramedics, then the police. The firefighters had to move the table because they have a table right there in the house. They had to move the table, and the last thing I saw of my aunt when they rolled her over was her blue lips. Luckily, she was wearing sunglasses that go over her glasses. But yeah, that image is kind of like burned into my mind of like her really blue lips. And now that I look back on it, like, those noises was her like letting go air kind of thing. And like, yeah, she didn't know that was gonna be her last day. Nobody knew that was gonna be her last day. It really sucks. And my dad told me, like, he didn't want me seeing any of this. He didn't want me, like, seeing them do CPR on her. So he told me just go in the other room before they start doing CPR. So I ran in my grandma's room. I closed the door. Her bedroom door can't close all the way because she has something kind of blocking it at the top. So it was still kind of like minorly cracked, so I could see just a little bit. But the thing was, is I moved to where I either couldn't see through the crack, or I could see into my great grandma's older room a little bit. And they're just doing CPR on her, and I was just like hearing all this, and like they're trying to figure out what medication she takes, and they've figured it out. They're like, do you know if she took anything before she left? And we're like, we don't know. The police officers didn't talk to me. They talked to the adults. My dad did let the people know that, oh yeah, my daughter's here. So kind of try to be quiet, but also, you know. And I think they might have asked, like, oh, how old is she type thing, and probably said 14. He probably said 14, obviously, if they asked how old I was. If he told them. I know he told the operator, but he didn't. I don't know if he told the firefighters and the paramedics and the policemen. So then they tried doing CPR, reviving her for 20 minutes. 20 minutes. And yeah. I know I said it wasn't, that was just kind of like everything. I don't want to say like, oh yeah, this happened and this happened and this happened. But yeah, next thing is if the thing is, I don't know how it is in other states, but this is how it is in California that I know of. If you are in like a rest home or on public property, like, a restaurant, a street, a rest home, anything that isn't your house, that doesn't have your name on it, then if you die there, the people that run it will take care of everything. especially in a rest home. That's how it was with my great-grandmother. My great-grandmother died in a rest home, and they took care of everything. But when it came with my aunt, she passed in the house. So the thing is, they have to call, I think it's a mortuary place that take the bodies. They had the body covered up. They had her body covered except for like her foot hanging out. Was her left or right? Her left foot hanging out. We couldn't close the door either because her body was blocking the door. So they had people come and take the body. I was outside. I had to be out of the way because they had to put her like in like a minivan. And then that was like the last I ever really saw of her. She might be getting cremated as we speak. I'm not sure. I know the plan is to get her cremated and everything else like cremated, and we were gonna try to put her in with my great-grandmother and my great-grandfather. But that's way too much because the grave is meant for 2 bodies, 2 caskets. But my great-grandmother, she wanted to be cremated and not put in a casket because when my great-grandfather died, my great-grandmother had them dig, because you're supposed to dig 6 feet to have it fit. She had them dig a 6 extra feet, so 12 feet into the ground. So that way you could fit 2 caskets. So he's on the very bottom, but my grandmother got cremated because A, it was cheaper, and B, my great-grandmother wanted to be cremated. She said it before she passed. She's like, just cremate me, put me in with, she said this to my grandmother. She said, cremate me and put me in with your father. She said that to my grandmother, as I said. And she got cremated, put in, so that means there's a bunch of extra room. But since it was meant for 2 people, it's gonna cost like $12,000, which $12,000 is $1,200, and then plus like all the extra stuff too. But yeah, it's just crazy to think that all of that was a couple days ago. We're about to hit like I believe the 72-hour mark, because Thursday around 3:30 was the 24-hour mark. Yesterday around 3:30 was the 48-hour mark, and I think today in about an hour. Yeah, in about an hour will be the 3-day mark. I think it's 72 hours. Yeah, I think so. And then just everything that has gone on the past couple days, I kind of want to keep personal, just due to me not wanting to let you guys know because of privacy issues and everything. But yeah, and I'm just gonna say now, the plan is when either my aunt moved out and my great-grandmother died, or both of my aunt or my great-grandmother passed, the plan is for me and my mom, my dad, and my sister to move in with my grandmother, because the 4 of us live in this small apartment, and the house is like, they're thinking of actually selling the house. They're not sure. Like, we'll either move into the house for about a year, and then most likely go move into the house for maybe a year, and then sell it, and then get some money off it, and then a lot of money off it, and move up towards like the Sacramento area. But the thing is, I don't want to move into the Sacramento area. I want to stay around here due to I have a lot of friends here. I have a lot of memories here, and I don't want to be even farther away from like all my friends. And plus, trying to memorize a 3rd address is like that could be technically moving to. I mean, my dad said that if we were gonna move into a house that isn't the one that my grandmother is staying at right now, then they're gonna sell it and they're gonna try to find a 5, maybe 6 bedroom house. 5. Yeah, 5, because my parents would get one, I would get my own, my grandmother would get her own, and my sister would get her own. And I wouldn't mind that. If I said that if we're moving into a house with like an extra bedroom, that's like we don't know what to do with. I call it from a YouTube room. But either way, it will be much easier. So be prepared within the next 6 to 7 months, probably towards the new year, that I will be either living in my grandmother's house or I would be living in a different house. I am not sure. Plus, the house that we might be moving into might have a pool. So, and no, it is not in Arizona, as my friend Carla's mother wants me to move into. But yeah. I just wanted to give you guys kind of like a life update type thing. And I just want to say that the next couple weeks I'm going to take slow, mostly because I start school on Tuesday. I start high school on Tuesday. No. Either way, I'll see you guys very soon. Yeah. Either way. Okay. See y'all soon. Bye.